Hey, Maria, back with another video. It's 4:43 p.m. It is October 22nd, Tuesday afternoon, and I'm kicking back in my bedroom just doing some thinking. I finished watching a movie. I watched a Lifetime movie. Yeah, I will say that. I'm extremely bored in this part of my life. Like, nothing seems to interest me. I mean, nothing does. It's like, I just feel like no subject matter is extremely stimulating to me. All of it is just blah in my mind. So I actually ended up watching a movie, and, the time went by, and so now I'm back to doing whatever it is, which is pretty much nothing. But, yeah, I will say that this issue really kind of killed my spirit a little bit. Or maybe not so much killed my spirit. How about just made me open up my eyes to this nothingness that goes on in life. Like, life to me, it looks completely different than it did to me like 20 years ago. Like, I just feel sick of it all. Just sick of it. Like, nothing is really, I guess I just feel burnout, burnout to a point of where, I question, like, what is the point of any of this shit? Like, any of it. And I believe it's a natural reaction. And believe me, I didn't push myself to feel this way. But, I think what I'm associating certain things with now is not how I was when I was younger. What I mean by that is like, I still have my same views, but everything in the world kind of makes me sick. Like, I just don't see any good in people. I just don't. Okay, I don't. And I know this is a negative video, but I can't help but feel that way. And so I was thinking today in the shower, is like, I know I need to accelerate my job search, and I'm doing the best I can. I tested the waters a few days ago, only because I felt like, okay, you need to get out and face your fear. What is the biggest fear that you're dealing with? Because I was dealing with the fear of the weird stalking that I had to deal with, with all these fake job interviews and stuff, and to have somebody abuse me like that is like, it's inhumane. It's wrong, on every level. And, I'm not the kind of person that has a lot of time in my life to play games like that when it comes to how I'm going to take care of myself. So when I think about the kind of abuse that I dealt with that I didn't deserve, for the length of time that I did, you start associating everything with the abuse that was connected to you. Not just even the fake job interviews. I'm talking about the years of it. Like, I realize now that these people have been I'm referring to my previous ex-family, have been in my work for many years, decades, okay? Long time. And they have sabotaged so much of my life, and I now associate work with abuse. And my highest hope, is to find an employer that, I'm not saying they have to be like perfect, but I'm just saying is, I don't want to go into those sort of situations, those environments that I had to deal with. That's why it's important that I sever ties with my family, because my family causes nothing but problems. Okay? Decades of it. To where I'm at a point where it's like, I don't like the way that I'm viewing everything. I don't like this pessimistic attitude that I have. I am a realist. I know that most people in this world aren't the sweetest people in the world, okay? But I don't want to paint everyone out to be like them. I don't, okay? But I feel that way at times, I was thinking about a conversation I had with my dad many years ago when I was, I don't know, like maybe 16 or so. I think I was 17, because I wanted to get a job, and I ended up getting a little summer job at a pizza place. And I was like, talking about to my dad about the application. He was like, I don't know why in the world you want to get a job. My dad's attitude, probably because he had dealt with the workplace, and he was basically kind of telling me, you want to be as young as you can, you don't want to rush into these sort of things. But I felt like everything it was like exciting to me, you know, to be able to make my own money, to feel like I was independent in some way, which is that's an admirable thing, you know. But at the same time, you know, I'm thinking, I'm looking back and I'm thinking, back then I couldn't understand what he was saying, but I understand what he's saying now, because the workplace can be a very abusive place. You know, you're dealing not just with, you know, arrogant managers or business owners. I'm talking about, you know, just the day-to-day nitpicky stuff that goes on. And, you know, I don't expect that to ever go away. That's life in general. People get, you know, crabby and they take it out on other people. It's not right. But, you know, you can understand to a certain extent. But what I dealt with my family, being involved in my work for those years, I dealt with what I consider to be murderous intent, okay? Because this is the sort of stuff that can really affect a person's life, okay? And, you know, it changes. Like, I've always enjoyed working, and I still want to find a nice job. I do. I want to find a job that I'm happy at, okay? But there's this always in the back of my head, it's like, if I had ever had to deal with that crap again, because I didn't deserve it, number one. Number two, you know, why would somebody want to dangle somebody's life in front of them in the manner that they did? You know, I find that it's like life-threatening. It's like somebody pointing a gun at you, and it's sickening to me. It really is. It disturbed me profoundly. So anyway, yeah, so I'm basically feeling very burnout. This feeling of burnout in life. You know, and I look around, and I don't feel sorry for myself for being in this state, because I see it in a lot of people, okay? It's just, this is life, you know, this is the way life is, you know. It's not always wonderful. In fact, there's times where life can be pretty goddamn shitty, and that's pretty much the whole platform of what goes on in this world, you know? So you just kind of take the good moments, and you try to, you know, keep them as best as you can. You do things that make you happy. You engage in your hobbies. You throw yourself into activities that you find happy, that you find that make you happy on your time, you know? And that's the only thing you can do to try to make it better. I mean, that's how I look at it. I mean, yeah, I know there's all kinds of people who look at the world and they think, well, you know, we should change this, and we could change the environment. We can do this. And, you know, I'm not trying to poo-poo these people. I'm not, okay? But, you know, look how many years people have been trying for this sort of stuff. And I'm not trying to be, like, negative to where I don't believe, you know, that anybody's ever going to accomplish anything, that the world can be a better place. It's just that I don't expect it. I don't expect the world to be a better place. I look at this as just hell. Like, life on this planet is hell. You know, and you just take these moments of pleasure and you make the best of it as you can, you know. And so that's how I look at things, you know. And I'm just going to do and plug along, you know, until I find the right place for me, you know, and I'm hoping that I will. But I don't ever want to have to deal with what I had to deal with ever again. You know, I want to go to work, and I want to feel happy when I go there. I want to enjoy my day. Do I expect people to get grouchy? Sometimes, yes. You know, you can't expect people to be happy all the time. That's unrealistic. But I don't expect people to have murderous intent like I consider these people that I had to deal with. And why do I say murderous intent? Because when you throw someone out of your place of employment for reasons that had nothing to do with them, or you're basing it on an assumption or gossip, or you're even doing it because of your religious belief. To me, when you do things like this, and basically by law standards, by blacklisting, by excluding other people based on reasons that are based on race, religion, blah, 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 all these things that I got screwed with, it is a form of genocide. It is a form of genocide. It's about marking out another person, marking them for life, okay? It is traumatizing to the victim, you know, and so that's why I call it murderous intent, because it's like these people are throwing around your reputation. They're making up stories about you. They're gossiping about you. They're going here, there, everywhere, spreading these bullshit lies, and then trying to throw religion into it on the mix. Okay, how do you think that's going to make people feel towards me? I dealt with bullshit that I shouldn't have had to deal with. You know what I mean? In the workplace. Places where I need to make my money to survive. You know, that's why I'm so shaken up about it. That's why, because I'm disturbed by it. You know, like every day I wake up and think, what the fuck was wrong with my family? What is wrong with these people? Yeah, I still feel that way. You know, it's like, I feel like it's no different than somebody running at you top speed with a knife or a gun. It's the same thing. So your life is being threatened. Or somebody who has a farm and somebody lights fire to your barn or something and destroys your livestock. That's how it feels. You know? And while you're sitting here upset about it, they're sitting here monitoring you, you know, and talking shit, and then trying to, you know, figure out the next plan to screw your shit up. And thinking it's funny. You know, I can't stand my fucking brother-in-law. I think he's disgusting, and I'm just disturbed by it. As well as my ex-sister, Tanya. Disturbed by it. Disturbed. Extremely disturbed by it. And it has affected my mood. And then when I see how many people bought into this and followed blindly and accepting this sort of stuff and wanting to place blame on me for shit that I had nothing to do with, you cannot help but change your view on people. Like, I really don't, you know, it's weird. People to me are weird. Because if you are willing to abuse somebody like that, or turn a blind eye to it, you know, in this world, people aren't safe, you know. That's why I'm so adamant about, like, taking care of myself and being, you know, protecting my space. Like, I don't want to have fake friends. I don't want, you know, what do you call it? They're double agents, people that they send to be your friend. And I question the people that I've known throughout my work life now. So it's like I sever ties with these people because I don't know where they came from. Are they truly my friend, or are they just people who are informing my family on bullshit? Not that I have anything big or anything, because I didn't do anything really, but I'm just saying is, are these really people that I can feel friendship towards, or are these people I can't feel anything? You know what I mean? I mean, why would I want to be close and warm to the very people who basically threw me out of everything I had? That's insane, right? And they sat there and they watched them do it. And they participated in doing it and allowed it to happen. So no, there's no way in the world I'd want to be friends with these people again. You know? Forgiveness can only go so far, you know, which I mentioned before in my video. But now I just have a different outlook on life, you know. And, you know, I hope that I can find something that I enjoy, you know, quickly. But, you know, it's all on a timetable that I can't control, you know, and, but one thing for sure, you know, I don't ever want to deal with that sort of abuse at work, ever, because it's, I've already said how evil it is and how wrong it is, okay, I don't need to emphasize that anymore, but, I will say that what happened in my life is a tragedy. It is a tragedy, and it's one that I will never completely get over, that somebody would do something like this, you know. But it's an eye-opener too. It's like there's a message behind all this, you know. And I guess the message is, like I said before, you know, this isn't the world where we want it to be. It's not like, you know, people are caring, they're kind. And, you know, I was watching this movie today, and I was thinking there was a relationship between these two women. They're supposed to be great friends, right? That's a rare thing. I think that's one of the reasons why people like movies like, you know, Thelma and Louise, and this last movie that I just watched, because it's like, people want to have these kind of friendships, but they're rare. They are very rare, okay? Most people, it seems as though, and maybe I've been in my family's bubble too long, you know, set up with their jobs and being around only the negative people, but it just seems like it's not just me, though, because I read it from other people. It's just like most people really don't have that kind of sincerity, you know? And so that's one of the reasons why we watch things like that, you know? Movies where people have great friendships and great families, you know? Like, I was watching another show. It was a kid's show. It was one of those shows on Netflix. I was bored that day. Okay, I was really, really bored, and I saw this little advertisement. It looked like a Harry Potter ripoff, and I kept thinking, this is a Harry Potter ripoff. You know, I haven't seen Harry Potter movies, by the way. I'm going to say that, but I've seen the advertisements. I've seen the merchandise. I've seen it all promoted, so I know what it's about. And so, of course, there's going to be copycats or people who are going to try to write stories similar to that. So I kept thinking, okay, let me take a look at this copycat really quick. It's like a little TV series. So anyway, there was a scene with this mom and this daughter, and it was just so loving, you know. It was so sweet, you know. The mom's so caring. The kid drops food on the floor, and the parent was just like, you know, talking to the kid, you know. In my family, I would have been like yelled at, scolded, shamed, and told to clean it up right away. And then when I cleaned it up, it wasn't good enough, and blah, 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 blah. You know? So it's like, you know, you watch these shows, and they're like, gosh, you know, why can't shit be like that? And I think that's the allure of television, movies, or any kind of cinema. It's just because it's escape from reality. I don't blame people for engaging in it. It's just that at this point, I'm just like, why even bother watching it? I watch it, but I'm a critic too. I mean, I'll sit there and like talk about how unrealistic this particular scene is and mumble to myself and get kind of pissed off or whatever, but I understand why we want to escape into certain fantasy worlds. And that's not to say there aren't any good parents, okay? There's, you know, there are some, but there's a hell of a lot of bad ones that I've seen, and it's obvious, okay? It's obvious. So, you know, I wonder, like, wow, what kind of world do we live in, you know, every day? Now, those questions have been on my mind, even more so since the understanding of what exactly happened to me. And so I was on the way to work yesterday, and I was thinking, okay, this is October, and I started working over at the Farmer's Place in the month of October in 2009, and this is how long this crazy shit has been going on. And longer than that, like I said, it happened over in the Chatsworth area too, but I'm just thinking, all this stuff has been going on all these years. They've just been wrecking my life and making my life a living hell, trying to promote their propaganda and their shit that I would never accept. And then controlling my work, you know? And then the fact that people allowed this to happen. Didn't matter how many videos I put out, didn't matter what I said. That's what scares me so much. It's like somebody coming and attacking you, a rapist coming to attack you, or somebody who's trying to murder you. And you're basically saying, look, don't do this. I didn't do this. I wasn't responsible. I blah, 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 blah. You're telling these people all the reasons why they have no right to be doing what they're doing, but they do it anyway. You know what I mean? And once you deal with those kind of psychological attacks, as well as financial attacks, it will affect you. So I understand why many targets don't return to the workplace. I understand why many targets just, just give up and they want to commit suicide. I fully understand that. I do. I understand it. Because it paints such a negative picture of everything. And, you know, you try to do something to help yourself, and these people are arrogantly sitting on their throne, looking down at you, thinking, well, wait until you get our approval. Bitch, you don't have any legal rights to expect me to give you that sort of authority. You know what I mean? And then all these so-called people who should know better are turning a blind eye to it. You know, it's terrifying. It's like being robbed of everything you have in the middle of the street, and there's police people watching, there's lawyers watching, and they sit there and they do nothing. It's terrifying. It is extremely terrifying. So yeah, I'm dealing with that. Post-traumatic stress disorder, whatever you want to call it. It's the residual effect of what happened to me. You know? So anyway, that's just my little update. Not always positive. There is positive things, like I said. You know, you come home, you surround yourself with the things you like to do. Make your home as comfortable as you can. You know, if you like certain things, get those things. You know, if they're cheap, if you can find them. If you can't afford everything, that's okay. The dollar store is there. You know, thrift stores, whatever you got to do. Make your surroundings happy. You know, make life as good as you can possibly make it. Get involved in hobbies that you like. And like I said, I'm not saying it's just me. I understand. It's not just me, okay? I just dealt with a very traumatizing experience, okay? But other people are not as content as they'd like to be. It's a problem. I mean, I see it all the time. People talking about it on Facebook, posting memes about it, having conversations about it. I mean, people are really not happy on this earth, you know? But like I said, you know, find your moments of happiness, you know? I used to find my moments of happiness at work, of course, but my family would come and destroy it all, you know? And that's pretty much what they do. They're destructive people. And so, anyway, I think I'm going to end this video. I'm getting a little tired here. Yes, I'm doing the best I can, and that's really the way it is. I can't put any more pressure on myself. You know, I put a lot of pressure on myself in the beginning, like I said, and took a bunch of shit to the shredders. And so, you know, you don't want to waste time. You know, you want to be efficient and everything, and you want to be able to find something that you're really going to enjoy. So it's, you know, it takes time, you know. And that is, of course, unless you're one of those people who've got people pulling strings for you and you're always guaranteed to have something like right then and there that works to your benefit and you enjoy it. Then that's consider yourself extremely lucky if you're one of those people. But if you're like me, where, you know, initially I always believed that, you know, you go out, and I felt confident in myself to take care of myself. I didn't need these people coming around following me, creating all this drama. When I first moved here back in 2000, my goal was to find a job, settle here, raise my son, and whatever. You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking too far, but I figured I could raise my son here, make enough money, and live our lives comfortably until whatever. And I think I would have been able to do that. I didn't need their bullshit. I didn't need their intrusion. I didn't need these people tagging along and creating this drama and causing all these problems in my life. You know, I would have been so much better off had I not been associated with these people, which I never wanted to associate with these people. Meaning, I knew they were a family. I didn't know that they were disabled. In the past, you know, it was nice to see them every once in a while when I thought that they were, decent people. But I never asked them for their help. I never asked Tanya to be my mentor. She's the last person I would ever come to for any sort of advice. You know? That's not to tear her down, but it's just I never looked up to her with that kind of respect, or like I thought she was like the shit. I just never thought that. You know? I just figured, you know, I read enough information about it, and I figured, you know, I can do this. Which most people can do this. You know, but it's just the fact that, you know, I was born into the wrong family. You know, it's unfortunate, but it happens. So, anyway, wrapping up this video. Have a wonderful day.